Well, we are going to get started, and today I'm going to talk about your liver. And you know that I talk a lot about making sure we are doing our liver flushes 3 to 4 times a year, especially now with everything that's going on. And that's why I've put it as a part of the Ascent Diet Cleanse, because it's so powerful, you guys. I truly, truly treat my liver like it's my fourth child. And the liver, why do we need to take care of the liver? It is our master detoxification organ. It cleanses the system. It's the most potent detoxifier. It helps break down fats, nutrients, and filters the toxins from the blood. And we have a lot more toxins than our ancestors ever even imagined. And if your liver is unhealthy, you're going to get signs that your whole health is struggling. If your liver's clogged or backed up with liver stones, an overabundance of the toxins, it's much more difficult for food and nutrients and fats to be broken down and pass through efficiently. So you might be sitting there going, oh, gosh, I can't eat what I used to be able to eat. My thyroid's not working. My metabolism's slowing down. I feel like I'm retaining a whole bunch of water. That could be your liver. A sluggish liver makes you even more sensitive to the environmental and dietary toxins, like perfumes and chemicals and personal care products and foods that you would normally be able to digest effectively. So if you're sitting there thinking, I used to be able to use that detergent and now I can't, or I used to be able to eat that food and now I can't, that's a sign that your liver is not healthy. And some healthy foods could be contributing to your sluggish liver as well, and back it up just as much as the environmental toxins, the heavy metals, mold, and chemicals. And I have a story of myself that I'm going to get into at the end that was just a huge aha moment I had over a week ago, about my liver and something that I was doing healthy, and it was backing up my liver. So what are signs that your liver is struggling and needs support? And if you have any questions, put them in the chat and I'll answer them as we go along. But signs that your liver is suffering. You have unexplained weight gain all of a sudden. You're nauseous, especially after eating a fatty meal. And the nausea, your liver is right underneath your right rib. That's where your liver and your gallbladder are. So if it kind of feels hard, and you can press on it, if that feels hard, that means your liver's backed up and could really use some TLC. So that nausea comes from, because remember, the liver is where you break down fats. And if it's not able to break down those fats are kind of coming back up, and you're feeling nauseous if you eat too much fat in the meal. And I'm all for a ketogenic diet, but that doesn't mean you have to do keto and have a high fat diet. And we'll talk about that a little bit as we go on as well. So a couple other signs, your thyroid and metabolism are sluggish. You don't feel like you've got that energy you used to have. Your thyroid hormones convert from the inactive T4 into the active T3 in the liver. So if your liver's backed up, that conversion's not happening, and your metabolism and your thyroid aren't working. You may have insomnia, especially if you're waking up between 2 and 5 in the morning. That's your liver waking you up. You have bloat, poor digestion, maybe you have some acne, PMS symptoms. Did you know, for all of us women out there, that PMS is not normal? You're not supposed to have any symptoms, but we do. And that's because our symptoms are not working right. Skin rashes, hair loss. I know a lot of women suffer from hair loss as they get older. And I feel like over the last year, even more women who you wouldn't even think that they would have hair issues are starting to lose their hair. And if you think about it, if the nutrients can't get into the cells and the toxins can't get out of the cells, which is the work of the liver, then how are you even absorbing and utilizing those nutrients that are needed for hair? Your body doesn't care what your nails and your skin and your hair look like. That's on the outside. That's for vanity. It only cares about your organs and what's going on the inside. So your hair, your nails, and your skin are truly a window into your health. You may have a yellow tint to the skin or the eyes. That means your liver's backed up. That's why when we had our babies way back when, they would look for the jaundice. That was the yellow tint to their skin, and that was their liver. You are becoming more sensitive to chemicals, scents, perfumes. You may have motion sickness. That's not normal either. That's your liver. Your stools are light colored or fluffy. That is a sign that you have too much fat in coming out of the stools and your body's not digesting those fats. And allergies, I'm someone that's never had allergies before, and I can tell that I'm reacting to things if I have not done a liver cleanse recently. So those could be things that could be signs that your liver needs some help. Now, what could be causing this? Some of the healthiest foods that you think you're doing all the right things are the wrong healthy foods that are backing up your liver. And over a year ago, I had a big shift in my body when I had my appointment with Terry Cochran. And she said, Sara, your genetic predisposition, you can't break down sulfur foods or oxalates. Now, what are those? The sulfur foods are the quote unquote healthy cruciferous vegetables, the broccoli, the cauliflower, the kale, egg yolks, garlic, onions. This is a total paradox because a lot of these vegetables have a ton of nutrients that we're told we need. But if you don't have the detoxification pathways that can break down these sulfur-rich foods, such as kale and broccoli, they could be clogging your detoxification pathways and backing up your liver and leading to diseases such as Crohn's, ulcerative colitis, arthritis, and even depression, mental illnesses. So you want to get rid of these sulfur vegetables if you're feeling any of these symptoms. The next group are the oxalates. And I was also having turmeric, which is very high in oxalates, in my drinks all day long, thinking that it was anti-inflammatory and it's healthy. Well, it was backing up my liver. Turmeric, curcumin, almonds and spinach are the worst offenders. So I don't care if you're listening to anything else that I tell you today, get rid of almonds, almond milk, almond this, almond that, almond flour, which is a very ketogenic, low carb, high fat food that so many people are using. It is full of oxalates, and so is spinach. They are the worst offenders. Kale is killer kale. It has oxalates and sulfur. So that kale that you think is so nutritious is actually doing detrimental things to your body and clogging up your liver detoxification pathways. Swiss chard, most nuts, berries, and chocolate all have oxalates in them, and they can clog up those pathways. And what happens with the oxalates is it can lead to dysbiosis, bloat, other gut issues, but also kidney stones, thyroiditis. So they go in and they jab themselves like little toothpicks and get into your joints and your thyroid, slowing down your thyroid, also causing urogenital issues. A lot of UTIs, bladder infections are caused by oxalates. I had to actually pass a kidney stone. I've been through 3 labor and deliveries with my beautiful children, and that kidney stone was worse than my deliveries, the pain. And so I don't recommend that. If you think you have any kidney issues, I do have a kidney protocol to break down those stones gently so you don't have to go through the pain I did. The problem with oxalates is it takes years to get them out of your system. Sulfur, sugar, all of those things are in and out of your body within a day or two. Oxalates take years. So there's a fine dance to how to get rid of them out of your body. but you want to stop taking them in, especially in juices. I have this week I put in the chat the article on what's wrong with juicing. Celery juicing has a lot of oxalates in it. Eating a couple sticks of celery, totally fine. God and nature gave you that fiber in that long piece of celery to eat and to slow you down from eating it, not putting 2 huge bunches of it in a juice every single day. That is loaded with plant poisons and they clog up your liver. So what's next that could be clogging up your liver? Here we are promoting a ketogenic diet, but if you really dive into what I promote, it's more of a high protein, low carb diet using the accelerated keto to kick you into ketosis, and your body snacks on its own fat stores to keep you in ketosis. So I don't promote eating a ton of fat, and eating too much fat in your diet could be clogging up your liver. So when the body's not able to break down the amount of fat ingested due to that clogged or sluggish liver, the backup worsens and it lacks the enzymes or the bile to process the fat, leading to feeling sluggish, bloated, causing insomnia, acne, PMS, and even that hair loss. When you eat a meal, if you've had a lot of fat, you're probably going, oh, okay, now I'm in a coma, food coma, and I don't want to move or do anything. That's not normal. It's normal to have that rest and digest feeling of just feeling relaxed, and you should be in a relaxed state when you eat. You want to make sure you eat in a relaxed state and not eat while you're driving or eat on the road and shoving food mindlessly into your body. That's where intermittent fasting actually is a benefit. When you're intermittent fasting and you are doing all your things and you're using the accelerated keto to put you into ketosis, and the energy is coming from burning your own fat stores, giving your brain and your body ketones to burn and move and do and be a mom and be a grandma and be whatever you're doing in life, to do life during the day until you eat. But then when you eat, to sit and relax and digest, that's great. And you want to be relaxed. But if you feel really like, ugh, then you just ate too much fat, or your body is not able to break down the amount of fat that you are eating. So that even includes the healthy fats like lamb and salmon and soft cheeses, yogurts, nuts. All those things are higher fat content. When I cook my salmon and lamb, which I love, I don't add any extra fat. And I kind of trim off some of the fat. Now, if I'm in a good place where my liver is functioning really well, I eat up that fat. My body loves it. Bison and deer and elk and some of the white fish, those are all much leaner cuts of protein. Cornish, game hen, duck, these are some good options. And you can stick to those if you're in a fat compromised situation where your body's still struggling until you cleanse that liver, and then you are able to break down the fats even better. And that will just give your liver a little bit more of a break. So what else can we do? We want to reduce that fat intake. That's step number 1. Okay, so it's what we're not going to do is we're not going to eat the sulfur. We're not going to eat the oxalates. We're going to reduce our fat intake. But what supplements can help quicken the process and make you feel good while you're doing this? This is why I've put together the Ascent Diet Cleanse. It is the combination of these supplements that work synergistically to increase that permeability, which is the cell's ability to get the toxins out and the nutrients into that cell. And in addition to resetting your metabolism, your liver health, your thyroid health, and reversing diseases like diabetes, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, which is the #1 growing disease in the United States. You do not have to be drinking alcohol to have a fatty liver now. And even children are having fatty liver disease. It's the saddest things. But you also can get rid of that visceral fat with the Ascent Diet Cleanse, obesity, and most chronic metabolic diseases. And it actually will reverse diabetes within 30 days. That's how powerful it is with these supplements. So you're combining that liver flush kit at the end of the cleanse, which is the Liverol Forte and malic acid. And the malic acid is breaking down the liver stones. The Liverol Forte is helping cleanse the liver. So the two together have the job. When you take them together, they say, oh, we know we're going to the liver and we're going to start breaking down those stones. Now, if you're taking the stone clearing supplement with malic acid, that's for kidney stones. When you take those together, the malic acid knows it's supposed to go to the kidneys. Your body's smart. So when you take supplements together, its job knows where to go in the body to actually do its work. So it's really important for you to think about when you're taking your supplements and what you're taking them with. And that's what I teach you also through the Ascent Diet Cleanse. But when you do the Liverol Forte and the malic acid together, those start softening the stones so that when you actually do the flush at the end, the stones are much easier to pass and get dumped into the toilet. And what happens is the gallstones come out of the body. You eliminate the pain, the cramps, inflammation. It helps lower AST and ALT liver enzyme counts, replaces damaged liver cells with healthy ones, reverses that fatty liver, eliminates thousands of toxins and pollutants that you don't even see. So some people say, well, I didn't even dump any stones, Sara. Did I do it right? Yes, you're dumping a whole bunch of toxins and pollutants, even reverses drug and alcohol liver damage, flushes out unhealthy cholesterol deposits, opens the obstructions in the liver and the gallbladder, boosts the immune system, and that allows the liver and gallbladder to regenerate. There's one of the testimonials, if you've watched my testimonial video, and he was a guy that was destitute and homeless and went to being a multimillionaire. And he said, Sara, I was on the streets for drugs for 20 years. And now he's got all this money, but he was living with damaged liver. And he had, he couldn't live a great life. He had all the money in the world, didn't matter. He went through my cleanse and he said, I've got my life back, Sara. Thank you so much. Within 30 days, and he will be the first to tell you that he didn't do it perfectly, but still it gave him his life back. And now he can enjoy his life as he's now sober, but got rid of all the damage that he had done from all the drugs and alcohol from years and years of being on the street. So that's where the liver flush comes in. But when you combine that with the accelerated keto in the Ascent Diet Cleanse, the keto flips you into fat burning within 30 minutes. So you're going from craving that glucose and those carbs for energy because your body doesn't know anything different, right? And flips you into saying, oh, wait, I've got fat on my body to burn. Even if you have 7% body fat, your body has plenty of fat to burn and to turn into ketones. And when the body is running on ketones produced by the accelerated keto, combine that with a low carb diet and intermittent fasting, which is super easy to do because your body is not, your appetite is suppressed because you've got all that fat to burn on your body. Why would your brain and your body want you to eat when it's got plenty of energy? ATP production increases significantly in the mitochondria, and mitochondrial biogenesis is optimized, and that ATP is true cellular energy. That is not the energy from your coffee or your Monster drink. I officially have gotten off coffee 3 weeks ago, and I was just drinking coffee because of the habit of it, not because I needed it. And really, my energy did not change at all when I stopped drinking it. So super excited. The accelerated keto gives you that boost of energy. It has a little bit of caffeine, but it does not give you the jitters. It comes from a different source of caffeine. And those additional ingredients also help break down the saturated fats into unsaturated fats. What does that mean? It means like when you have that candle that is burning and the wax melts, that melted wax is easier to burn and utilize to convert into ketones. And the body fat is more readily available to burn energy, which increases ketones and autophagy mechanisms further. Autophagy is the recycling of old and damaged cells. So we want to get rid of that junk and do the cleanup in our body. That's its job. Now, remember, if you're constantly eating all day long, oh, I need to have 6 small meals a day, your body gets no break to actually engage in autophagy and start cleaning up. All you're doing is focused on digesting and digesting and digesting. You have no chance to say, okay, I'm not digesting food. Let's go clean up. That's what we want. So we want that feast and famine cycle where you're intermittent fasting, letting your body do its cleanup work. And then when you feast, you really enjoy your food and you really enjoy what you want to eat. And I got to tell you, last night I had 2 bison ribeyes, 20 ounces of bison ribeye. I didn't eat much all day. So when I sat down, I was hungry and my body just burned it and loved every ounce of it. You are not going to overeat what your body doesn't need. Okay, so it's really difficult to turn protein into fat. Your body uses all that protein that you ingest and builds your muscle, which is so important for us women especially, and men, but after the age of 40, it's hard to keep muscle mass. So it's really important to make sure we're eating that good protein, the good quality animal protein. So because of this property that the accelerated keto increases ketones and autophagy, it's able to defat the liver as well. This is where the liver fat or the fatty liver goes in the right direction and gets reversed, and that visceral fat gets reversed as well. It's also known that the liver is responsible for converting stored fat into ketones. So if you are trying to do a ketogenic diet and your liver's backed up and you're eating all of this fat, but your liver can't even break it down. So this is where I've heard so many people say, well, Sarah, I can't do the ketogenic diet. It doesn't work for me. I've gained weight on it. It's because your liver it's not functioning. So that's where you want to do the supplements, the accelerated keto to get you into ketosis, focus on high protein and a lower fat and a lower carb diet, and then get your liver to functioning. And that once the person's liver is defatted and unclogged, it's easier for the liver to function in all areas, including the breakdown of the fatty molecules into that usable energy and increase mitochondrial biogenesis. The liver, as I mentioned, is also where thyroid hormones convert from T4 to T3. Now let's break down T4 and T3. T4 stands for tyrosine and 4 molecules of iodine. Iodine, iodine, iodine. Everybody needs their acceleradine for so many reasons, but this is one of the main ones. And that tyrosine is an amino acid that comes mostly from animal protein. So it's really difficult to get tyrosine from a vegan diet. And that's why a lot of vegans, if they're not supplementing, have sluggish thyroids. They gain weight easily. They have insulin resistance, fatty liver, all these things. And here they are trying to be healthy by staying away from animal protein. I don't recommend it. And there's so many studies against the vegan diet. If you're doing it for religious reasons, or if you're doing it for animal rights, I understand that it's very important and you're supplementing with amino acids. And then the T4 needs to convert to T3 in the liver. That 3 stands for molecules of iodine, But if you can't get, if your liver is clogged, that conversion never happens. T4 does you no good. So your sluggish thyroid is going to slow down your metabolism. And yes, you're going to gain weight, but we're not even just talking about your energy. We're talking about your cell's energy to do everything else, for its immune system functions, for its autophagy functions, everything else, all of that energy down to that cellular level. And you actually also are not going to have much ATP produced. Remember, ATP is true cellular energy. So we want that ATP to increase. That accelerated keto is going to multiply the amount of ATP your cells are making by 5 to 10 to even maybe 100 times. The number is not known, but it is not just a small percentage. It is a big increase in that ATP production. Another ingredient in the accelerated keto is the organic mucil, and this is known to break down fats in the body and provide an energy spark to burn those fats, and that it breaks it down. And it also helps joint and muscle health. It's also known in Ayurvedic medicine to have a hot or fire element potency. I've talked a little bit about Chinese and Ayurvedic medicine, where we all have different doshas and different constitutions. I'm known as double water, so I need that extra fire. My husband, of course, is double fire. That's why we're married. He may not need that extra fire, but it helps that fire in the digestive system. And it is the match that lights the keto process. So it also helps detoxify the body and the liver. The other ingredient, the trichatu, heats up the digestive fire and allows for extremely high absorption of the ketones and other cofactors. Accelerated keto also has that HMB, which converts into acetyl-CoA and ketones and prevents that muscle wasting. When we're getting older, it is hard to maintain that muscle mass. So it's really important to be working on that. The strength training and the HMB helps with that muscle wasting. Another supplement I haven't talked much about is called beta TCP. I take this every day. It's a supplement that contains vitamin C, taurine, beet concentrate, and superoxide dismutase. And this supplement helps to support the bile flow, antioxidant function for toxic removal, fat emulsification, so it helps emulsify the fat in the liver. It helps with glucose metabolism, and it helps with digestion of your fats. So I take it with my food, and it helps break down the fats that I do eat and helps with digestion. So if you're needing that extra enzyme support for digestion, which most people do as they get older, this is a great one. And the vitamin C in it is found to help support the blood vessel structure, blood pressure, prevent inflammation. It's also very helpful with, the virus that everyone's worried about right now and the inflammatory cytokines that happen. But it's also really good for increasing nitric oxide levels and supporting antioxidant function and lowering cellular damage. So that's one that I do recommend if you're having issues with breaking down the fats and improving the bile. The next one is quercetin with bromelain, and you've heard a lot about quercetin in the last 2 years. It's a naturally occurring free radical scavenger that supports the healthy seasonal immune system. So it's great for allergies as well. But it also bromelain has a long history to help with the balanced immune system, to the environmental changes, and the bromelain helps with the immune system as well. But they also are very strong in helping the liver health. Choline and Inositol is a member of the B vitamins. And if you're taking the wrong B vitamins that your body can't break down because they are clogging your sulfur pathways, you might want to consider the choline and inositol, because it's a way to get your B vitamins that is in a way that your body can utilize. It helps with the accumulation of triglycerides in the liver, and helps with normal synaptic transmission, brain health, fatty acid metabolism in the liver. It's very good for brain and nervous health as well. Then next are the electrolytes. I talk a lot about electrolytes, especially if you're on a low carb diet, because what happens is the kidneys hold on to water when you're eating carbs, but they let go of water and electrolytes when you are not. And it's really important to be replacing those electrolytes and the minerals in your body. The quintessential 0.9, that's part of the Ascent Diet Cleanse. It helps heal the body with proper hydration of the cells. It's composed of the exact balance of minerals and electrolytes in our blood plasma. If you've missed the episode of my podcast with Robert Slovak, go back and watch it. He is brilliant, but he describes where this supplement was found, how it saved his life, and how it's extremely healing to the body. So your body is literally like bathed in the exact compilation of minerals and electrolytes that we need. It's the same as our blood plasma. And heavy hydration and nutrition for the cells is essential for the cells to detox from heavy metals and radiation, in addition to having that ATP production and the mitochondria, and to detox the liver. And the accelerated ancient salt, you want to take it throughout the day. After your first dose of the Acceleradine in the morning, and if you're doing the Nuke No More, which I highly recommend to detox from radiation and the heavy metals, you want to do a pinch of the salt on your tongue or in a glass of water about 10 minutes after. And what happens is that emulsifying salt, and it stimulates digestion. It also has a negative charge to pull out the positively charged toxins, parasites, and undigested fats. So it's helping that liver. And the accelerated salt is the only salt that I know of that is raw, unbleached, it has no microplastics in it, but of course it is scalar charged with frequencies to further enhance the detoxification of the radiation and the heavy metals from your body and your liver, and rehydrate the cells. So it's really important. And then the frequency of energy from the scalar frequency reorganizes your DNA. It helps with nausea, digesting fats, rehydration at the cellular level. You can actually dehydrate your body by drinking too much plain water. People don't know that. So when you talk about hydration, we want to get hydrated at the cellular level, and the salt is the best way to do it. Also helps detox from radiation and stimulate digestion. So that's another thing. When you use it with your food, it's helping with your digestion. And of course, it tastes amazing. That's just a bonus. The next one is the Wild Light. So these are all different options. I utilize all of them in different times of the day. I love the salt throughout the day, but I really love it on my meals. The Wild Lights, excuse me, is great to put in your water during your workouts, or if you're doing sauna. It has a very mild taste. You can drink it all day long. It is one of the very few electrolyte formulas that have no sulfur or oxalates in them. So you'll look at a lot of supplements out there that are promoting that it's a mineral or an electrolyte balance, and it's got some vitamins and things in it that actually clog up your detoxification pathways. So it's really important to look at other supplements and their ingredients. So it helps with the daily stress, the inflammation, adrenal fatigue at the cellular level. And like I said, I use that during the day or during my workout or my sauna session. Next, for your liver health, the Glutathione Patch. So glutathione is really tricky. Glutathione has sulfur. So if you have a sulfur pathway issue, you don't want to take a glutathione supplement. It's going to actually back up your liver, and here you are taking glutathione to help your liver and your detoxification. So this is the other thing. Most glutathione supplements, besides clogging your pathways, actually only increase your glutathione levels by maybe 14% over a 30-day period. And even there's a transdermal glutathione that I've been using in the past, and that only has a half-life of 6 hours. So you're constantly putting it on your skin. And it's a decent one, but it's expensive. The glutathione stem cell patch is not transdermal. So what that means is it's telling your body how to make its own glutathione. So you bypass that whole sulfur pathway issue, and you increase your glutathione by over 300%. And glutathione is the master antioxidant, the master liver detoxifier, immune booster, and neuroprotector. It helps with that liver detox of heavy metals, toxins, and getting all that waste out of the body. Improves your immune system to deal with all the daily foreign pathogens, whether it's bacteria or viruses or all of those. It helps with, it is antiviral, and it's great for infections. And for any chronic issues, it helps alleviate symptoms with issues like autoimmune disease, arthritis, autism, MS, Parkinson's. And when you add it to the X39 stem cell activation patch, it increases your glutathione by 400%. So where does the X39 stem cell patch come into play? Well, it's activating your own stem cell production by elevating that GHK-Cu peptide for regeneration and repair, and it resets over 4,000 genes to a younger state. So what does that mean? That means our body and our immune system and our detoxification and our liver are all working as if we were 20 years old, not 40 or 50 or 60 years old. It helps repair the collagen in all the tissues, activates your stem cell production, encourages that apoptosis of cancer cells, all of those things. So it's only going to help with that liver detoxification and all of these things working together. So those two patches also are going to work synergistically with the supplements, and then eliminating the wrong healthy foods, of course, eliminating the wrong bad foods that you know about, the alcohol, the refined sugars, the white foods, and then also the processed seed oils. I actually would rather you have a ton of sugar than vegetable oils. Those vegetable oils are extremely inflammatory and damaging your body, and they stay in your body for over a year, where the sugars are staying in your body for a day, right? The sugars are definitely detrimental, but if you're taking one over the other, that's where I would say stay away from the vegetable oils. It's actually worse than smoking a pack of cigarettes a day. Okay, so what foods could help our liver? Cilantro. It's known to help chelate heavy metals and pull out toxins from the body. And that's why it's one of the key ingredients in the wild lights. Artichokes are a great vegetable and also a great supplement. You can get it in supplement form if you want, but just eating it. And it's also one of those vegetables that is good for everybody. I talk a lot about plant poisons and all the wrong vegetables, and you're sitting there going, okay, so now what vegetables can I eat? Well, artichokes are one of the greatest ones. The other great one is asparagus, but artichoke has been shown to prevent liver damage and to promote regeneration of new liver cells. It can also stimulate that bile production and help the liver rid the body of toxins. Milk thistle is a supplement and a food that you can use, and it's also part of the Liverol Forte supplement, and that's why. Cucumbers, one of my favorite vegetables. It contains vitamin A. It's soothing. It's also very cooling to the digestive system. So if you have inflammation in the gut, cucumbers are always really good to eat to help reduce the inflammation in your GI tract. But they're rich in high quality water and alkalizing the body. It supports the liver by helping hydrate the whole GI system and flushing out the waste and the toxins. So that's really what I wanted to go over. Susan, you said, what was the last one? Which one are you talking about? Oh, you're on mute.
It was, let's see. It was right after you were talking about preventing muscle loss and wasting with the HMB.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Okay,
And
so that was the accelerated keto. So the accelerated keto has the HMB, and then the next one was the beta TCP.
Beta TCP. Okay.
Yes, I do recommend that. I love it. I feel a difference when I take it, especially with my fatty meals. So it's definitely one I like to take.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. We are doing a cleanse, the Ascent Diet Cleanse, every month. We're starting the new one April 4th, which is next Monday. And I'm also starting that with Deborah Atkinson. She is going to be promoting her Stronger program. For those of you, if you are a woman in your 40s, 50s, 60s, or 70s, this is an awesome opportunity to combine the two. It is so important for us women to be strength training. You don't need to go on a run. You don't need to be doing chronic cardio. You need to be building muscle for your brain and your body. And she will take you, whether you've never exercised before in your life or you've always exercised and you just want to do it in a different way and really get the most bang for your buck. I highly, highly recommend these two programs together. What I'm doing, starting the accelerated Ascent Diet Cleanse will be on sale, $20 off, but anyone that signs up for both programs gets an additional $20 coupon for any future order, because I just really want to see the synergy of the two programs work together. So let me know if you're interested in doing both. I will have a link for her program in the show notes when I post this on YouTube. I also am posting all of my things on YouTube. Please share these. My channel needs to grow to help more people. So the more you share, the more YouTube likes me, the more YouTube will let the algorithm start going and get my word out. So many people need this information. So I really, really would appreciate the more you share my channel and like it, comment it, and leave your questions. And I always love seeing your smiley faces. I appreciate you always being here live with me as well, every Monday at 2 p.m. Pacific time. And tomorrow on the podcast, I have Dr. John Gray. We're going to actually be talking about how to improve intimacy as we age, because our hormones are declining. What do we do with our hormones to help with intimacy? Whether you have a partner or a relationship or not, doesn't matter. We all want to feel good, whether it's hormonally and just in our female bodies, especially as we age. And I find that right now, a lot of women and men are struggling with declining hormones. And part of the problem is what's going on in our environment, whether you've had the jab or not, or just gotten actually COVID. It's disrupted our hormonal balance, our insulin, our sex hormones and everything. How do we get those back in check? And there's a way. So there we go for today. Thank you guys. The podcast is always Tuesdays, Pacific time, 1 p.m. So join live. Ask John his questions. He's awesome. He is so great. So I am really excited about tomorrow. And thank you again, and have a fantastic week.
Thanks, Sara. Bye.
Bye.